FAD is a creative charity supporting young people to bridge the gap between education and the fashion industry. We specialise in running professional fashion workshops and competitions for 13 to 25-year-olds. They learn important practical skills while also developing the confidence and experience they need to succeed in the future. The ethos that underpins all of our initiatives is to integrate art and culture into fashion, while also promoting the idea that clothes should both enhance and respect the wearer. The 2009 FAD competition got off to a great start, with 34 universities registering to take part. Tonight we will showcase the designs of 14 talented finalists from 10 universities across the UK. The 2009 FAD brief asked students to explore the concept of retrofuturism and space tourism, looking to the 1960s to create futuristic uniforms for the galactic hosts and hostesses of the future. Each finalist will present 2 outfits, drawing inspiration from the planets and solar system for colour, print and embellishment.
Students have to do a research book, mood boards and 2 sketches of the final design. We were looking at how they had interpreted the brief, how they have gone from research to a final design, and we also look at their textile development and if what they have designed could actually be constructed and be worn.
This is where it all happens. We're a small team, just 4 of us working here full time. We've got 2 more people part time, but really the strength of FAD is all our volunteers. Tonight I've got 10 people working with me backstage. A lot of them are students that have taken part in our competitions before, and we're looking for designs that are going to be the next big thing out, and at the same time very respectful of the person who is wearing them.
And what have you been doing today, Rosanna? Today I've been at the Vauxhall Fashion Scout fashion show, which has been absolutely amazing, and I've been helping out with the door, meeting, greeting and seating, which is quite good, yeah.
Fantastic! And how long have you been here today?
One of the lucky ones. I got to come here at 6 o'clock and since then it's been running up and down everywhere.
And what have you enjoyed most about today?
Definitely the fashion show. I saw some of the designs back at the FAD offices, but they were absolutely incredible here. Seeing them on the runway were amazing.
I'm William Tempest and I was on the jury panel for the FAD competition this year.
Fantastic. What did you think of the standard of the entries, William?
Well, the standard, it was really, really high across the whole board. So, and when we looked at each individual designer, we, picked things out that we really, really liked. But the 3 in particular that really stood out, well, we'll announce them later, so I'm not giving too much away now. But they were really, really good. So, very impressed.
What particularly impressed you about those designs that were chosen as winners?
I just think that the designs that we picked, they worked really well together. And you could really see that they put a lot of effort into the actual make of the garments, which is obviously really important if you want to sell them. So they were really, really high quality.
What was it about the competition that made you decide to enter it?
I just thought the brief was fantastic, and I must admit, I think as a child I must have been a bit of a geek because I was quite into space, and it's the sort of thing you do study when you're little, isn't it? And I really loved it. And I just loved the fact it was a full brief. I've loved the fact that you could go way out and that it wasn't something that had to be completely wearable. It was for this sort of fantasy space travel thing, which really appealed to me, because I think for my final collection I want to keep it more traditional and wearable, so it was getting that contrast, which was really nice.
So you really saw the brief coming through in the entry?
Oh, definitely. The ones that came through the first stage and that actually went to be made were very, very on the ball as far as because they had to be hostess or host. They had to be inner persona and outer persona. Things to do with the planets, etc., but also wearable. Often students who take on a futuristic look or a sci-fi look will do something which is theatrical, and that's no good. If you're going to be designing for weightlessness or working in the cabin of a plane, you can't have something which is uncomfortable, or is going to knock people out as you walk down the gangway. So in fact they had to be realistic, and yet they had to be futuristic too, which was exciting.
So it was a real challenge.
It was.
It had to be practical.
And I think this year, because it was such a challenge, it's brought about some really exciting things, more exciting than ever, I think.
Essential qualities for a student to succeed in fashion. I would think, I would be quite sure, number one, be prepared to do anything and not to be a prima donna. Number two, have not only be good at drawing and sketching, but you could also be a good toilist, i.e. making the first prototype pattern. To be left on your own and to develop your own design. And number three, to be able to interpret what the head designer wants, to understand his philosophy rather than your own. Because you're working for another designer, you have to get into his skin. He doesn't have to get into yours. And that's always a challenge.
And what were you looking for particularly?
I think with any judging situation of student talent, you need to try and find a new idea that is executed really, really well. I think often students can try and wow with a new idea, not realising that that same idea has been used again and again. If it's a bit kind of wacky or just a little bit strange, it had to be believable, it had to be wearable in some way, and it had to be finished really, really perfectly. And also I think they had to kind of articulate their ideas creatively in a very clear way, so we understood what they were trying to do. And if they do that right, you can see a future in the idea.